It's peak heat wave here in Belper. We're earthed up in propagation tunnel. The temperature's saying 27.5 degrees. I've watered, I've dampened down, and we've got lots of shade cloth up. And then out into the blissful coolness of the garden at 9 o'clock in the morning. Every peak flowering too. We've got the marigolds and the parsley and the white swan echinaceas just starting. Soshan rudbeckia lanceolata. Hoverflies are loving it, and some other smaller flies. Couldn't tell you what they are, but I'm sure they really appreciate the yellow and the nectar and the pollen. And then we just have a sea of mints and variegated lemon balm and the strawberry mint flowering with its lilac dainty flowers. Hopefully you can just see that, yeah. And the hostas and the poppy. It's like all the colours that arrive know what they're flowering next to. But this hosta is mad. Guacamole. Look at that flower stem. Big. Be nice to try and save seed from hosta and breed an even chunkier, delicious one. Yeah, we grow it because it's food. Potted chives, oregano, and then more things not yet in flower. We don't want everything flowering all at once. Tagetes and more calendula, lavender. This is Korean mint. It smells really tasty, minty aniseed and looks awesome. So earthed up, we grow edible and useful plants, and we try and keep them alive on our small off-grid nursery. Got the gazebo up for some shade this week. Some things here ready to pot on soon, but I'm not doing that when it's going to get to 40 degrees in the polytunnel, so they're just going to wait. Riccardia, flowering prematurely, but it just keeps flowering through the summer with weed-like yellow flowers. They look a bit like something you'd find in a meadow, but you don't. You don't find this many places, and we got seed and started to grow it last year, and it's really tasty. Nice soft supple leaves, a little bit like a wild lettuce. Marshmallow and Chinese mallow, Malva verticulata, and then Coreopsis that's new to us, and another verticulata, moonbeam. Nice fluffy foliage with poached egg flowers. They remind me of the poached egg plant. Just bring it back into focus. I'm going to wander up into the garden. This is predominantly our nursery space, but this is the garden that we propagate from and show people around, and I thought more people just need to see it now. Because everyone else is just hanging out in their own gardens. They don't want to come here and bake in this heat. So, remnants of Taunton Dean perennial kale and its younger clone that we planted in May. Bladdercampion, sculpit, marshmallow. Let's get a bit closer. Marshmallow is nearly flowering, and it's early. It is early for marshmallow, but we normally see this in July, as do we with the skirret, Siam sarum. I see some red spider mites on there and a couple of flies. And with all the umbels, you get all sorts living up in the tangle of the flower heads. But this is skirret from division, and we've grown some from seed this year as well to diversify. I see another umbel, something that used to be categorised as an umbel. It's a lovage, and the lovage are growing really well this year. We've got loads of leaves, and now we're going to get loads of nectar. Another one here. Different plant family now, salvias. See the hoverfly? Loads of hoverflies. Salvia officinalis purpurea. Purple sage. With an apple on M9 rootstock coming through. It's doing better than this one. Strawberries. It's a wild strawberry hybrid from Phil Corbett at Cool Temperate Nurseries. I dare to think what's living in there. You enjoy it, it's fine. And then the massia that we planted late, it's picking up and rising up. It's a root crop, Sandean. It'll never compete for size and vigour with sunchoke, the other root crop of this bed. But we've weeded lots of this out, and yet look, we're still going to get a great harvest of sunchokes. So if you want some of them bare root, the varieties Fuseau, we'll have that in the autumn. And just balmy sunshine in flower form. This is Anthemis tinctoria, Dyer's chamomile. You can see there's two different flower forms there. It's the same species, they just have been played with humans, so the colours are all over the place. There's a honeybee hanging out here. I would. And then let's try and interpret what we're seeing here. There's bowls mint and apple mint hybrid just starting to flower. That's small compared to what it normally is. This is more typical of bowls mint. Big lilac blooms covered in bees. In the garden a couple of years ago, we saw 8 different species of bee hanging out on the bowls mint flowers. And then rising above all of it, in the herbaceous layer, we've got Reseda lutea, wild, Dyer's wild. Apparently the bees like that too. And here it should be shrubby, but is taking its time, is Dyer's greenweed, Genista. And I've seen some blackcurrants, so I will have them. I think this is Ben Nevis. And then the Sweet Sicily's finished, and we'll self-seed. So a fair amount of interest, whether you're human or insect.